Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen.
The big question for this week is, what is your spirit animal? Or, you know, if that's not your thing, what animal do you most, what's your familiar? What do you associate with animal wise? And my answer, you know, I actually looked into the spirit animal concept, and it doesn't really fit in with what I chose, but because I thought it was more of like you're choosing, but it seems like it's something that you're more kind of in sync with, or it does something for you or visits you. I don't know, but I love bats. I just really like bats. And I think one of the reasons is they're a mammal that can fly. And when you look at their skeletons, the joints in their wings are like, there's 5 of them. And it looks like some like elongated fingers. Maybe we can put like a picture. And it makes me think that maybe human beings are meant to eventually be able to do something like that. Because I think, you know, I looked into it. I've always kind of like read up on bats, but I was doing it recently, and like the way they kind of evolved was like jumping from the tops of trees, you know, to another one, and kind of like coasting down. But then over time, they were able to flap, you know, and actually like fly around. And I always, I don't know. I know most people like dream about flying and like that kind of thing, but I've always felt like I just was meant to fly. I don't know. That bats just always seem so cool, and I feel like I'm a night owl too. Well, no, I'm you know, I'm not choosing an owl as well. I'm just, you know, I like to be up late at night, and you know, bats do. But you know, they eat insects. I don't do that so much, but I guess I don't know. They're cool too because they like get rid of insects, and they're kind of like a pesticide. Also, people like are disgusted by them, and I like that. And I get that. I know that they can easily transmit diseases, but I don't know. I think bats are cool, and I wish I, you know, was one.
Bats are creepy. Bats are scary. Bats just don't seem sanitary. Bats in dismal caves keep cozy. Bats remind us of Lugosi. Bats are careful. Bats use radar. Bats by Batman, unimpressed star. I read that. It was in Mad Magazine. I read it when I was like 7 years old. I never forgot it.
That's the other thing. The echolocation is really cool too. They can figure out the even like the size and shape and density of objects, and what direction they're going. And they transmit these frequencies that are like above our hearing. I don't know. I think I feel like I have really good reflexes, and I feel like that kind of thing would make sense to me if I were a bat. Like I'd be able to do that kind of stuff.
Did you ever read Richard Dawkins' The Blind Watchmaker?
No.
There's a whole wonderful chapter on the evolution of bats.
Oh.
And yeah, and how that squeaky voice was super helpful for hunting at night. And yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, we have bats here at the house. I was sitting out back on my deck one night, and my neighbor, who I talk to all the time, came out with his 2 kids, and he said, "The kids really love your bats." And I'm like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, every night around twilight or whatever, we go out front of the houses, and we look up on the top near your roof line, and we see the bats come out."
And I have bats right here behind me.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Visual aids, folks.
Visual aids. So the question is, what is your spirit animal? So I looked into it online, and strangely enough, there was an email that came through in my work email. It was actually an article from we have community groups, and we're like Indigenous peoples, Native American groups, and the article was about cultural appropriation of terms that should not be used anymore, of which spirit animal is one. You're also not supposed to say things at work like "let's have a powwow," or what's the other one? Like there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Even calling people your tribe is not really cool anymore.
Yeah. Wendigo is one that gets culturally appropriated all the time, and don't do that, people, okay? Because that is really offensive to Native Americans, because the idea is you will summon, you actually, if you say it enough, you can will that being, it's like a tulpa, into existence. And yeah, and I keep seeing people like super honkies going like, hey,
Yeah.
Let's just not take our chances with that kind of thing, like why bother?
It started to appear in like the mid 2010s and like in online, and then like in Wiccan and pagan message boards. It kind of shifted. It became a joking thing and just became overly commercial. It's just kind of a. That being said, I did follow through. I'll maybe make this a two-part answer. I found the first online quiz I found. What's your spirit animal? And I took the quiz, and it turns out I'm a turtle, or my spirit animal is a turtle. The turtle totem wisdom teaches us about walking our path in peace and sticking to it with determination and serenity. Slow moving on earth. In fact, some Native American cultures, I guess, called the continent we live on Turtle Island. I know in some religions, the world is carried on the back of a turtle. So yeah, Rodney, you had a turtle pet for a while.
I had a turtle for about 25, 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agent Cooper. Agent Dale Cooper. Yes.
So anyway, the turtle was what I came up with. I'll provide a link to the quiz if you're so inclined to take it. I'm sure there's some dubious information found there, but if if we're talking about animals that I identify with, it's probably cats. I love cats. We have two very large cats, over 25-pound cats, and cats are my favorite animal anyway, any kind of cat. So that's my answer.
Whenever you say like that's cultural appropriation of Native Americans, there's always some dude who goes, "It's okay, I'm 1/10 Cherokee." I was like, "Yeah, well, you're 9/10 asshole, so shut up." All right, so is that I'm on board with cats and bats. This is like Rodney night, and turtles. These are all good ones. So is it mine? Am I up?
Yes, you are.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna say normally I would say Love Cats by The Cure and Who Let the Dogs Out by Billy Joel. But that's only if the question was name a great song with an animal in the title and then name a terrible song with an animal in the title. Way to go again, Billy Joel. So, and folks, feel free to put your answers in the comment section. But since the question is actually what is your spirit animal, I'm going to say Elliot Stabler. Now, hold on, okay? Before you say anything, I know what you're thinking. Elliot Stabler, isn't he a bit of a loose cannon? A bit of a wild card? Okay, Elliot Stabler doesn't always do things by the book, right? He doesn't always play by the rules. He doesn't always act in a manner consistent with normal human behavior. But Stabler gets results, damn it. Elliot Stabler gets shit done. And that should be a meme. Elliot Stabler gets shit done. And not only does Elliot Stabler get shit done, Elliot Stabler goes the extra mile. He doesn't just kick the suspect, he kicks the shit out of the suspect. And it's true. Okay, sometimes, all right, sometimes getting shit done and going the extra mile makes him a little cranky, all right? Yeah, all right, there was that time that he pistol whipped that flower girl at that wedding, all right? But he did it because he had to. Not because he wanted to, and not even because he thought that she took his Tic Tacs, all right? He did it because he's Elliot Stabler. Elliot Stabler gets shit done, which brings us to me. I got up this morning at like 5 a.m. I went into the office and worked a corporate job for about 10 and a half hours. Then I came home. I could have taken a nap, tuned in the night right before this and answered with, I don't know, a raccoon. But no, okay? I worked on this giant piece of existentialist philosophy you're hearing right now, okay? Yeah, I went the extra mile, and I did it not because I wanted to, all right? Not even because I thought it might bring in a few extra views from Lawrence Orders and SUV fans, all right? No, I did it because Elliot Stabler is my spirit animal, and Elliot Stabler gets shit done. Thank you.
I love seeing him in that show, and then imagining him in Wet Hot American Summer with the refrigerator.
And don't forget, he was Creep Show in Harold and Kumar. I could hear everything you said. I get the first reach around. See, even no matter what role he's in, he gets shit done. Joseph, almost birthday boy.
Well, I like ants and I like bees because they work as community. But I also like Dean. I took a quiz and I found out that my spirit animal is actually panda.
Pretty panda?
What?
Pretty panda?
Not pretty panda. Yeah,
This show's almost extinct.
Or maybe it's pretty panda. I don't know.
Was it pretty panda?
Yeah, I'm almost my spirit animal is just about extinct. That's right. I might be in trouble here.
Delicious, absolutely delicious.
You know what? With your hair and your shirt right now, you kind of look like a panda.
Oh yes, see.
I mean that I love pandas, Joe.
Maybe the quiz is very accurate. I don't know if it's the same one Dean took. We'll find out. But according to spiritanimal.info, I don't know how politically correct this website is. The panda is a symbol of gentleness and strength. And the general meanings associated with this animal are peace, gentle strength. I feel that. Good luck, positive outlook on life. I'm definitely an optimist. Connection with Eastern wisdom. Maybe.
You're doing that Buddha diet.
I find it sort of interesting. I read a book last year about, from the point of view of a Buddhist, self-help. I don't think that counts. Also, the symbolism of the panda encompasses personal and spiritual qualities, such as integration of polarized aspects of oneself, such as feminine and masculine energies. I can sort of get that. I feel that polarization. Heart-centered energy, nurturing ability. Importance of emotions. Yes, that's me. Calm determination, ability to take time to reach your goals. I can take a long time to reach my goals, but I don't give up. Importance of private space and personal boundaries. So I'd say it's maybe 80% accurate.
Joe, could you do me a huge favor?
No.
Could you say, no, come on. Could you say the name of that website just one more time?
Spiritualanimal.info.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Isn't that where you would go for your latest spirit animal information?
So do you still have, do you still have, you don't have Pretty Panda anymore, do you?
No. Oh, sorry. It didn't come in. Sorry. No, Pretty Panda was sold in the 90s at a flea market.
Okay.
Sorry.
For those of you following along at home, Pretty Panda was a little toy we took on 120 minutes.
Right, I got it for Christmas.
Yeah.
So what does that website say about Elliot Stabler?
I haven't looked at that. Let me look up.
Okay, see if it has Elliot Stabler
He's
on
here.
there. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to go over there and pistol whip every one of those other markets.
All right.
I'm going to get shit done.
Holy moly.
He's actually, it comes up with anything.
No, there is no Elliot Stabler.
All right, folks. If you work for that website, you may want to.
If anybody could get
change your
pandas to
name.
breed, it's Elliot Stabler.
It's Elliot Stabler, yeah. Oh, I'm angry. We better move on to recommendations because
Bad is on it. I don't know.
Okay, well, yes.
B is on it too. I could have been a B.
B. Oh yeah, recommendations. I am going to recommend something that I'm trying to do. It's having gratitude when you're suffering or when you're in pain. It's a really weird thought at first, but I've started to figure out how it works. I think every time I've had some other kind of pain, like there's definitely been a lesson learned from that. So even though when you're in the middle of it, you can't tell what that lesson's going to be, once you persevere and you get through it, like you build your character and you learn a lesson from it. So I recommend everybody try at some point, if they meditate or something, just try to find something, some kind of pain, and just kind of like move, forward with it by just being grateful that, you can.
I would like to recommend making lists. I am a list maker. I like to check off things on a list to get done. I'm sure Elliot Stabler does the same thing.
I'm a list guy too. I get shit. I have lists all, and I get boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there's nothing better when you have to explain to a coworker what a to-do list is. Yeah,
I've got multiple lists in front of me here. Here's a list, and
I like when it's crossed off too. When
I always put a couple of easy things on your list, and then you can cross those off pretty
cross
easy.
things off list.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm just going to recommend that.
Visit spiritanimalinfo.com.
It's just spiritanimal.info.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
So make some lists and get stuff done.
Okay. My usual for your ears and for your eyes recommendations. First of all, we are coming up on the birthday, which will be tomorrow, of our glorious founder, Mr. Joe Jack Talcum. Tomorrow, he turns 69 years old. And
nice.
Oddly enough, nice. Oddly enough, I like to listen to this time of year, and by this time of year, I mean it starts in August. I'm really into Halloween. I like to listen to Halloween music from the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, which was the first wave of what we call adult Halloween. Originally, Halloween was for adults. It was a lot of drinking and jazz music and flapper chicks. And then they eventually tried to make it tame for the kids. And now we've seen the resurgence over the years of adult Halloween. And I would like to thank everybody out there in the gay community for that. Oh, you're solid, brothers and sisters. So what happens is I'm going to recommend, I actually found, this is how it ties in with Joe, I found a Joe Jack Talcum song written and recorded almost 30 years before there was a Joe Jack Talcum. This song is from 1934, and it's called With Her Ed, I like to say with her Ed tucked underneath her arm, Ghost of Anne Boleyn, and it's by Cyril Smith. And we'll put a link up there to it. This is like a Joe song. It's disturbing, but kind of happy. It is, Joe, you should think about covering this. And even if you don't, it's a really good, fun thing to listen to around Halloween. Again, I really like 30s Halloween music, and this, I could just kind of see Joe doing this. Now, one thing, this is apparently also covered by the Kingston Trio. I don't want to hear that. Only because when you open up the dictionary and you look up Caucasian, there's a picture of the Kingston Trio there. So that's probably why I'm not going to check that out. Oh, by the way, another quick additional recommendation. If you're making a Halloween playlist, please don't include Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. The song that you want to include by Warren Zevon is Excitable Boy. That is a great song about a murderer. It is really creepy. It is really disturbing. Put that on your Halloween playlist. Now, for your eyes, and I recently, the other night, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was a bunch of free movies on the Roku, and I was so happy to see this. Invasion of the B-Girls, AKA Graveyard Tramps, for 1973. Have any of you guys ever seen this film? Don't worry, Elliot Stabler has. I'm sure he has. This is probably the first sexual revolution sci-fi film. And here's the thing. It's in the public domain. So we're going to put a link where you can go and watch it for free. But this film is rated R. Now, some of our millennial viewers are going, well, that's nothing big. I've seen an R-rated movie. No, you've seen an R-rated movie from the last 10, 20 years where there's no nudity, and when they're having sex, the woman keeps her bra on. I don't know how that started. This is basically softcore porn, bordering on porn, disguised as a movie. At one point, a couple are naked rolling down a hill. So quickly, here's the plot. The plot is there are a bunch of scientists working for a government institution out in California, and they start dying. So they send a guy from the State Department out to investigate. And an autopsy shows that they died from sexual exhaustion. I was fascinated by it. I saw this movie when I was in like teens or something, and I was so fascinated by that I once met a coroner, and I asked him, I said, can you die from sexual exhaustion? He goes, why are you asking that? I'm like, Invasion of the B-Girls. So It is absolutely amazing. Anitra Ford is in it. A absolutely stunning woman who, if you ever see a film called Messiah of Evil, she just, I mean, camera loves her and she's incredible in this. And technically, now because this was made in the 70s, it again, is problematic in a lot of senses. If you remade it today, and please, if you're a filmmaker and you're listening to this, remake Invasion of the B-Girls, but remake it from a feminist perspective, because it really is. If it had been switched the other way, it could have been a feminist masterpiece. So it is really, really good. Now, little bonus for Halloween, a little bonus tip for you, okay? If your store puts out Christmas decorations before Halloween, I'm going to fuck your store up. Like you'll be lucky if I just get a bunch of people together and we pick it in there. No. I'm going to find a way to take a shit in your store, you know, which I'm surprised that didn't become a hipster thing. Shitting outside of toilets. It's more authentic, man. I'll get some hipsters. I'll get them to go in there and take a shit. I get the feeling those homebrew IPAs get really stinky when they come out the other end. So I'm just saying, no Halloween decorations. And if you get a chance, please see Invasion of the B-Girls. Keep in mind, all right, it didn't age great, but hidden in there is a feminist masterpiece. Thank you very much.
I'd like to recommend a movie called Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. It came out in 1993. That's a long time ago. But it's a dark animated movie. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of it by now and seen it. But if you haven't, give it a watch. It's for kids, it's for adults, it's for the child in all of us.
I don't like it when goth DJs play This Is Halloween. Everybody forms that circle and they do that. Yeah, but I do love that movie. Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
I own it on DVD.
Yeah.
And in the non-Halloween kind of thing, another really old thing that I just started watching, I'll recommend it maybe, is an animated series for adults called The Life and Times of Tim. Tim is like a timid adult character, young adult, who gets into outrageous situations, and comedy ensues. And each episode is 15 minutes long. It's on the HBO thing.
Comedy ensues in Invasion of the B-Girls, but it's not intentional comedy.
Okay. Well, that's sometimes the best comedy.
Well, I wish Joe you a happy birthday, and Rodney, I wish you and your lovely wife a happy anniversary tomorrow.
Well, thank you.
On
And,
Friday.
and Patty, you will be missed, brother.
Yes. And now I'm going to run off and buy my sexy Elliot Stabler costume from Amazon.
Every Elliot Stabler costume is a sexy Elliot Stabler costume.
Bye, guys.
Bye.